Hey guys, wanted to give you a quick recap. I know today was very difficult and I can see that I didn't start with the right problems. I should have kept everything positive, shouldn't have involved any negatives, and definitely no coefficients in the first number. So let's take a step back, take a breath, and let me do some examples with just positive numbers. So we are on A.10e, and this is positive. Just positive. Tomorrow we will put in some negatives. So let's say, for example, in fact, I'm going to do the first three problems on your worksheet for today. So, number one, we have x squared plus 9x plus 20. We're going to still do it the same method, but you're going to see a little bit, you're going to understand it much better without involving negatives. So we're going to draw our box. We're going to put the first number here. We're going to put the last one here, just like we did before. If you watch the notes and weren't in class, we're going to put the greatest common factors up here and here, so it looks more like a multiplication table. So we know our product is, and remember this is A x plus bx plus c. Anyway, we're going to multiply the first and the last number. So that's going to give us 20x squared. Our sum is going to be the middle number, 9x. So we need to think of what times what is 20 added together is 9. So we're not even going to go through all those factors. We're not going to do 1 times 20 or 2 times 10, because we already know that 5 times 4 is 20. And 5 plus 4 is 9. So there's our numbers. We know we have a 5 here and a 4 here. And we have x squared, so we have to put our x's here. So now we're going to build our mathematics table and get our answer out here on the side. Oh man. Is this not working? Not now. Okay, it still is working. Okay, sorry about that. There's a big black mark on the screen, so I thought maybe it turned off. Okay? Anyway, so we need to know what greatest common factor can go into 4 and 20, and we know that number is 4. And on this row, what greatest common factor can go into 1 and 5, and we know that's going to be 1x. Because we have x squared here, we have an x here, and we have an x here. This way, our greatest common factor between 1 and 4 would also be 1x, because we have an x here and an x here. And down here, our greatest common factor would be 5. And we don't have an x because we only have 1 here. So, like I said, it's a multiplication table, so x times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x, 5 times x is 5x, and 5 times 4 is 20. So we built our table, and now we can write our factor, which is, I'll just go down and then over, x plus 5 and x plus 4. And by the time you're finished with this worksheet, you're going to be able to do this stuff in your head, and you're not even going to have to write a box. Let's do number 2. So now we're going to pick it up a little bit. And we have x squared plus 10x plus 16. I'm going to draw my box. I know x squared goes here. I know 16 goes here. I know the product is going to be x squared times 16, so 16x squared, and the sum is going to be 10x. So what numbers times themselves equal 16, and when you add them, they equal 8. I'm sorry, they equal 10. So if you don't know, you could do 1 times 16, 2 times 8, 3 times 6, and whatnot. But you know that 2 plus 8 is 10. So you've got your numbers 2 and 8. And now we're ready to put this in the greatest common factor, which is 8 up and down here. 1 and 2, the greatest common factor is 1. This way, 1 and 8, the greatest common factor is 1. And remember, we need our x here. And I forgot to put the x's here. We don't need an x here because there's just one x. These both have x's, so there's our x. This way, we have 1x, and this way we're going to have just a 2. So now we know our answer is x plus 2 times x plus 8, which, as you can see, for those of you that understand what I'm doing, your answer's right there. In fact, I'm going to do this one like that. Number 3, x squared plus 14x plus 49. Draw our box. X squared, 49. Our product is 49x squared. Our sum is 14x. And what times what is 49 added together is 14. And we know that is 7 times 7. So we already know our answer here. But we're going to put it over here and do it the same way. Because when we start putting the coefficients here and we start making these negatives, it's going to get a lot more difficult. But for the time being, we know the greatest common factor here is 7. Greatest common factor here is 1x. This way, it's also 1x. And this way, it is 7. So our answer is x plus 7 times x plus 7. That'll do it for the 3 questions. I hope this made it simpler. Tomorrow we'll involve negatives, and then finally we'll put a coefficient in front of the x. We won't do it all at the same time like we tried to today. That'll do it, guys. Thank you for watching.